Alright, what's happening, dudes? We're making an archway. We're making it out of 2 7/8 pipe. So these are the uprights. They're going to be in the ground about 2 feet. We're going to have a bar across the top that's 45 down both ends. This piece here. I'm going to cap those. And then we're going to hang a gate in the middle of this. It's a little gate for a dog run for a client. So let's get to work. Probably do some time lapses, speed it up for you, and enjoy. Alrighty, there's our top bar, 45'd and capped. Let's get our uprights squared up and weld this baby on. Alright, there it is, tacked up. Now listen up, this is real important. The reason I got that crossbar welded down there is because when I go to weld these joints here, these uprights are going to want to pull or get pushed one way or the other while I'm welding. The heat from the weld pulls the metal one way or the other. So I got this crossbar welded down here, and that's to make sure I keep my square so it doesn't get pulled in this way or pushed out that way. So that's really important if you're doing something like this. If you don't do that and you go to weld those saddles up top, you're going to come down here and take your measurement, and you're going to be way closer together or a lot farther apart than you need to be. So, something to remember. Alright, they're welded up. Oh baby. Gotta love a good fitment. Let's start on our gate. So our gate's gonna be 4.5 feet by 3 feet. And it's gonna be, we're gonna have some uprights, and then we're gonna use some of these metal rings, kind of a third of the way up, just for aesthetic purposes. So let's start on the gate. Alright, got my frame pieces cut for the gate. Let's put her together. Gate frame is welded up. These things here is the similar concept as that crossbar down at the bottom. They're keeping everything squared up while I weld the joints. So I have one on each corner to keep that at a perfect 90 while I weld. So that's the gate frame. I'm gonna clean up the welds and then we'll start with the uprights. All right, so I'm figuring out the spacing I want for the uprights. and I think I'm gonna put these rings in between two pieces of 2-inch strap. So, and then the uprights will come up here, and then below as well down in this space. So I got to figure out the spacing for those and tack everything up, and then I'll bring you guys back and we'll take a look at it. Alright, so we got 2 pieces of 2-inch strap on either side of our rings. So that's going to hold those in there, box them in, and then we're cutting uprights to go in here and down here. It's coming together. Alright, so I got my spacing and my uprights in on the top portion of the gate. Turned out to be 4 inches inside to inside and a little bit more on the ends here because the math didn't work out quite right how I wanted. But usually that's what I'll do when I'm making gates like this is if the math doesn't work out quite right, I'll add a little extra in the ends, and you can't even really tell. You'd never be able to tell looking at it. So I'm gonna weld that out and then put the uprights in the bottom section. I'm about to put in the upper uprights, and I wanted to show you another little trick here. Since I'm not doing this on the floor, I have these pieces of 2x2 tubing clamped on the underneath side, and I have them blocked up. So when I put those uprights in, they're sitting at the exact right height that I need. So, pretty neat little trick. All right, it's the next day. I got my gate hung. Got my hinges tacked up. I was gonna hand make the hinges from scratch, but we didn't have quite the right materials here, so I'm using these store-bought hinges that I just modified a little bit. You can get these at any steel supply place. It's got a grease fitting right there if you want to grease them. So I just added little pieces on either side just to make up that gap difference. So gate's hung. I'll weld those hinges out and then start working on the latch. Alright, so I'm designing my latch here, and this is what I come up with. Got a hole in my frame, and I'm going to put this sleeve in like that, and then this piece of round stock is going to be inside here, and it's going to pop out and go into a hole that's in the archway right there, in the upright of the archway. And I'm going to cut a slot out in this area so that I can weld a little handle on it, and you'll be able to slide the round stock in and out of the sleeve and slide it into the latch position and then back out to open it. So that's the plan. Let's see if I can execute it. Alright, the latch is complete. Tried to do one-handed, but there it is. Let's go weld it into the gate, and we're just about done with this thing. And there she is. Latch is in. Can't do it one-handed right now, but you can see how it works. Just goes into a hole there. Latch is in there. Looks pretty good. Thanks for watching, everybody.